smoke in the air. Fishing bait holds a secret I don't ever share. The lake don't judge the man with a line. It takes what you give and steals your time. Fishing with Steve out on the water, dreams reflected in the ripples, whiskey in my flask, big fish or not, I don't ever ask.
Well, good morning guys, welcome to another episode of Fishing with Steve. We're on the bank and we are fishing, both rods are out. It's just gone midday and a little bit of a later start than usual for me on this channel, but because we're doing something a little bit different. So I'm out on my very first night fishing session for pike. We're in Monaghan on a lake that I fished now 3 times. Have fish out to 13.5 pound, albeit in a different swim. It was a swim a little bit further down, probably 2 or 3 swims down. But I've moved down a bit this time and I'm fishing the swim that has a little bit deeper water. Right hand rod I've just dropped out on a piece of eel and that's out about 60, 70 yards and that's on in 37 foot of water. Spotted a big shoal of bait fish there, dropped the bait off, so hoping that there's something around there. Hedging me bets then, pulling in on the left hand rod. As I said, right in front of me is fairly deep water, so it goes from 4 foot, which is about a rod length out, and then drops like a cliff down to 17 foot. So I'm fishing that. That's only probably out about maybe 10 wraps. And I'm fishing at the bottom of that drop off and it's, as I said, it's 17 foot. That's on a piece of roach. So I'll give them a little bit of time. As I said, it is midday. I just dropped my daughter at the college and made my way up here. I'm going to be fishing through until tomorrow evening. So we've got about 36 hours on the water. And I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't done a pike fishing session at night before. But I did get a run here last time. I was fishing when it was dark in the morning, before first light. You know, I could fish in the dark, and I've been told by a couple of comments on a couple of you guys that I commented on the video that there's guys who fish these particular swims and fish them at night and they fish well. You had fish up to 25 pound. So I know there's big fish in this lake. It's just a case of how do we wingle them out and how do we catch them. But yeah, as I said, I've 36 hours. I'm going to fish through the night. I'm well set up in the bivvy. I'll run through the setup at the bivvy in a little while. But yeah, well set up in there. Have my diesel heater with me. The rods are literally just outside the door. Have the bait boat. Everything is set up. It's yeah, it's more akin to carp fishing setup than pike fishing. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm well set up and listen, I'm fishing. It's great. It's great. Took the day off work just to get down here so I could do the Friday into Saturday. And yeah. Really looking forward to this session, really am. Yeah, let's do a quick walk through the setup. The rods there, I said, fairly close to the bivvy and hook them on the net. So right hand rod's just out here, left hand rod's just out here. That one's out about 200 feet, 250 feet in 30 foot of water. And this one here is 17 foot of water just on the drop off. Left hand rod's on roach, right hand rod on eel. So, gonna be trusty artificial grass outside. Stop me walking a lot of crap and mucking all in. Bait boat, extra C. And then we're in the bivvy. Got a couple of PIR LED lights for later on this evening when it goes dark. And then I just have my boat pole there for the bait boat, for getting it in and out of the water. You obviously need a mat. Keep the place clean, stop you from walking all the shite and muck into the bivvy. Yeah, and then I'm set up. So in the bivvy itself, got my bed chair. This is the Avid Benchmark. Lovely bed, memory foam mattress. That's the Ascent 3-season sleeping bag. Little Avenger chair, bed buddy chair. Very, very handy. Nash bivvy table, an organiser. I have that all the time there. Cool little shelves on it and great place to hold the likes of the tablets and stuff like that. power pack. This power pack I use for charging the likes of my batteries, camera gear, all that sort of stuff. This is my camera gear bag, so in the box there is for the cine camera. We got lights for later on when it gets dark. DJI box for all my DJI action cameras. So that's in there. And then over this side then is where my cook station is. So we've got the cook station, bivvy table, food bag, all that sort of stuff. Then down here we've got another power pack that's down here, and that's powering the diesel heater. So if you can see this here, diesel heater here, I'll just have a priming at the minute. It's going through, and then the receiver there for my alarms. So although the alarms are just there, I still have my receiver on. That if I do go for a nap later on this evening, that yeah, I have the receiver right by my head, that it wakes me up. Very important when I'm using that, like the diesel heater. I'll run through the diesel heater setup now with you, but as I said, the power pack for it is down here. A separate power pack I have for the diesel heater. This is a carbon monoxide alarm. Very things like that. Now, nothing comes in here but warm air, and I'll go through, as I said, with the diesel heater, but it's around the back, and nothing comes to that but warm air. But just in case, it's always worthy to have carbon monoxide alarm. Alright, let me go around the back, show you this diesel heater. So diesel heater is here around the back, as I said. Exhaust comes out. That exhaust is lined with a heat proof wrap. So that's the exhaust, that's where all the fumes and stuff are coming out. Air filters over this side, away from that. As I said, it's all well away from the bivvy, and then all you get coming in from the bivvy is the airflow pipe, and that's straight into the back, into there. Now we do have a cover that goes over this, but that's the electric. And then on it itself, I have a little remote control that's on my keys, and I can select different temperatures. So that's at the lowest setting there at the minute. As I said, I'm just priming the pipes and getting it kicking off, but full tank of fuel should do me for the couple of days that I'm here, and that's going to keep me warm. I've had the bivvy to 29 degrees with that thing. But yeah, that's the setup. That's the bivvy. It's probably going to be one of my last sessions with this bivvy, because I've just ordered a new one. So this one is probably going to be going up for sale fairly soon. But yeah, set up with the bivvy. It's very neat and tidy, even if I do say so myself. Well, that's just coming up onto 3 o'clock, and nothing much to report other than it's bitterly cold. Easterly wind literally just cutting right across me, and it's a cold one, yeah. So right hand rod, what I've done is I've just come back up that shelf a little bit. I'm in about 27 foot of water. I was at in around 37, so I'll come up about 10 foot up that shelf, just to see if I get at around there. There is bayfish still knocking around. I'm still getting some bayfish on the deeper, and clumps of bayfish and stuff like that. So hopefully there's some pike knocking around looking for them, but that's still out on the eel. Left hand rod I've just switched over. That was on roach, and I switched it over onto a big piece of smelt, one of them big turbo smelt. So that's what that's on, and that's at that drop off at 17 foot. As I said, it's literally like a cliff, just drops off. Right, I'm going to pop inside the bivvy. I'm going to spark up my dinner. I'm going to make myself some peppered steaks. And got to start just chill out. I'm going to leave the rods as they are. As I said, they've just been put out. I know they're on decent spots. I know they've dropped dry. I could see it would drop them where they landed on the deeper. So yeah, as I said, there's left rod on smelt, and right rod is on eel. And all I can do now is hope that the pike play ball and go on the feed at some point. Lamb grill steak on the bank. Oh, Can't beat it. I'm good. Well, that's just come up onto 10 o'clock, and I've jumped into the sleeping bag. I'm going to turn the heating back on now in a minute. But yeah, just jumped into the sleeping bag, just waiting on a run. Hopefully we get something. But yeah, wind has picked back up a little bit here, and we had a little bit of rain that wasn't forecast. So as I said, just hoping to get some sort of a run during the night or very early morning. I have moved the baits from the time I put them out there just before it got dark, so they're out now probably 6 hours. It's 4, half 4 when I put them out. Yeah, I'm probably just going to leave them until in the morning and see if anything is passing by and picks them up. I wouldn't put them anywhere different anyway, so there's no point in going out and moving them around anyway. Like, the only place I put them is on the bottom of that drop off, or maybe, as I said earlier, pull it up onto the top of the drop off into the margins. We'll see. I'll give it till early in the morning anyway. Maybe on that left hand rod I might just do that. But yeah, that's it. Just gone 10 o'clock. All quiet in the fishing front. So I just watched a bit of a movie there on Netflix on the tablet. Probably going to see if I can grab an hour or so skip and be awake for the early morning session. If I get a run, I'll be back to you. Well, good morning, lads. It's just coming up onto 9 o'clock. Said I'd wait until it got bright to do an update instead of doing one under the lights. But yeah, not a tap. Very, very quiet night. A bit disappointed, to be honest with you. But I just redid the rods there just before daylight came. Just before daybreak. Redid the rods. Put out the deeper and the bait boat and marked a couple of fish. Spotted a couple of what looked like decent sized fish on the deeper, and dropped the baits right in their heads. Yeah, a little bit disappointed, a little bit thing, but that's January for you. I think on a lake this size, the pike aren't moving around. The water temperatures are 4 degrees on the surface, so probably a lot colder at the bottom, and they're just not moving around. That's what I'm thinking. And unless you drop the baits on their head, then it's going to be very hard to find them. Now, yesterday I tried everything. I was moving baits every hour and a half, trying different spots, drop off, top of the drop off, bottom of the drop off, out in deep water up to 40 foot, and then moving it back in up that slope. Then I put on the float rod. I had the float rod out for a good couple of hours yesterday, and I was trying all different depths to see whether you're up mid water, whether you're up near top water, with the pressure and stuff like that. So listen, I've tried a lot. I've tried a lot, and still no luck. So yeah, that right hand rod I dropped it on, smelt, popped up. It's down about 33, 34 foot of water. It's just the only way I could see bait fish. Well, lads, we're still on a blank. Just coming up to 26 hours or 27 hours I'm on the water now. And nothing to show for me efforts. Yeah, I don't know what to do. There's 7 lads along the bank here, 7 or 8 lads, and no one's had anything new. I've tried everything, and the only thing I've actually had a beep on or a bit of a touch on was popped up smelt, but not normal smelt, pretty large smelt. Actually, I'll show you here. These are my normal size smelt that I normally use and normally get, and these are the smelt that I'm using on these session. So you can kind of see the difference. Normal 4.5 inch smelt, and then these boys 6.5, 7 inch smelt. They're very large, very big, and that's what I've been using on the baits. Them at Neil. But yeah, nothing as I said, just a one touch on that one that's popped up. If you're looking to get big baits like this, because they do normally work, but yeah, you can get them in Sports Fins Tackle in Lucan, and that's where I get all my bait from, all my dead bait, all my pike tackle, everything I use for dead baiting. I'll leave the link in the description to their website, and they're based in Lucan, so go check them out if you're looking for dead baits or any piking gear, and they're the sponsors of today's video, so big thanks to those. Well, lads, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it. You're on the bank, you're on a wild venue, you have no facilities whatsoever, and you're bivvying up for the night. You're here for at least 36 hours, and you need to use the bathroom. What do you do? So here's the most essential bit of kit I think you need to buy. Don't say we don't give you the best tips on this channel. This is a bivvy loo. It's made by Carp Life, and as far as I'm concerned, if you're out doing wild fishing, wild camping, it's an essential piece of kit. So what comes in the kit, you get bivvy loo, you get biodegradable wipes, you get it's like a powder gel stuff that goes in it, and you get the bags, and then you get the loo itself. Now this thing is savage. So this literally pushes out. It's got metal rods that pop and put it in that, and there you have it. It is an essential piece of kit. So that goes down into your bivvy. You got your biodegradable bags, they go into that around the rim. You drop in a bag of gel, a little small bag of gel. You get 12 gels with the pack. Pop that in. You do your business, do your jobby, and then use your biodegradable wipes, and then roll up the bag, pop it up, tie a bit of a knot in it, and then that's it, ready to go. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, if you're on wild lakes like this one, I think it's an essential piece of kit. There you go, the Carp Life Bivvy Loo. Don't say we don't bring you the best tips on this channel. Well, it's just gone 2:30, and still nothing to report on the Pike front. Man United just beat Man City 2-0. I can report that, so they've done well and had a good result. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to replicate that on the Pike front. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. As I said, there's still 7 or 8 lads along the bank here. No one's had anything, and they're just not on. They're not on the feed. They're not here. The pike aren't here, and if they are here, they're sitting on the bottom and they're sulking, and you just have to get it that you're dropping a bait on their heads. So I'm not going to stay another night. I'm going to cut my losses and admit defeat again, and I'm going to start packing up shortly. We're due to have heavy rain for the next hour and a half. That wasn't forecast, but has now just rolled in. But yeah, I'm going to start packing all the stuff down, stuff that I don't need. Leave it, that's just the bivvy and the rods to pull in, and then probably pull them in around 4 o'clock. Get off the lake before dark. So if I'm back to you, it'll be with a fish, and if not, big thanks for watching as always. And sorry you couldn't get another pike out on the bank, but we had 3 sessions in 2026 so far, and all 3 of them have been blanks. And it's a ball breaker, to be honest with you. Yeah. Hopefully we get out in another session. We head up the north to Ballydugan, hit a load of jacks, and just to get a few pike on the bank. But we'll see. It's not all done yet, but if I'm not back to you, big thanks for watching as always. Please do like, subscribe, hit that bell to get the notifications when I do my next upload. And if you wouldn't mind, hit the hype button as well. That helps out the channel big time. Big thanks as always to Sports Vince for sponsoring today's episodes. And until next time, if you're out in the bank fishing yourself, I hope you have more luck for me. Sidelines.